So now let's study few more things for today's class. This was the previous class that we had done. Select one and go to constraints, open up this. First of all, I'll click position constraint and apply over here. 3F4. So you saw what happened? I'll just delete and remake. Create a sphere and create a box. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this thing from here. Position constant. Position means simply both of these things will share the same position. Okay. In orientation, what it did, uh, it shared the same rotation value, and in position it will share the same position value. So I'll click, select this position, this to this. And it has positioned its value. So if I move this parameter, okay, so this thing is gonna move accordingly. So suppose, and if I rotate, it's not gonna rotate. Okay, so in this thing what is happening, it is attaching just the positions. Suppose, select this. If I enable this keep initial offset, it means now whatever that distance was there, it's gonna maintain that distance. So now if I move this thing, hello, it's not gonna move because this thing has been positionally attached to this one. And if I move this thing, both the parameters is gonna move. But if I rotate, it's not gonna rotate because rotation is not linked to this one. Okay. So this is the function of position constraint. पेरेंट में ओरिएंटेशन और रोटेशन दोनों क्लिक हो जाता है. Now suppose if I want to rotate, this thing is rotating freely. Okay, so where you gonna use this thing that you want to know? So suppose this is a position, so we cannot move right now. now I'm going to link this to this. And link this to this. So what is happening? If I rotate this, this should, if I move the whole thing, it's gonna move, but this thing has will that it's gonna rotate at its own will. Okay, so basically uh, for mechanical stuffs we can do these kind of linkings where only the rotation, it should have open rotation, but it should not have open position. Means positioning should be defined by some other thing, some other element, but rotation should is not being defined by this one. Okay, so wherever the such mechanical parts are there, we are going to use this parameter. Secondly, I'm going to delete this again. I'm going to create a box again. Okay, where do we use this position and path? Controller of hand, there we change position, but nothing happens when we rotate that controller. Remember, hand controller or of IK. If we rotate the hand controller, nothing happens, but if we move, the whole setup moves like this. So what kind of constraint here it would have applied? Position one. Okay. Now let's create one more, check one more constraint. Click and click. This is called look at constraint. And over here, keep initial offset on. So now if I move, you can see what is happening. What is happening? And now you tell me, where do we apply these kind of things? I. Where do we use these things? We use this technique to control the movement of eyes. So basically, let's create two eyes so that you can understand properly. Eyes are simple sphere, that you already know. Okay, and to move these eyes, I'll very quickly make this thing. I'll delete this. What? Let it be. Sorry? It's not. It's not. The thing is not working. Oh, proper proper loop नहीं है ना. Right now it's not proper loop, so it's not gonna grow also. Where is grow? Okay. Simple. रोटी सब्जी. हाँ हाँ. How do we inverse the selection? Control I. What? यहाँ से इन्वर्स कर सकते हैं. सिलेक्शन. नहीं, वो तो कर दिया. Inverse selection I was asking. So basically what I am doing is trying to assign material, different material to both. So this will be the black part. Okay. And I think it's done. And it's done oppositely. So I'm not gonna do this thing. And this one, do I need to press double click? Oh, double click this one. Okay. And what else we can do? We can reduce the anisotropy, increase the roughness a little bit. Okay, so let it be. One of our eye has been created. Now we're gonna duplicate this thing to create the second eye, and simply we cannot, always we cannot use each and every eye and rotate at the same angle during the animation. So for the animators, we need to give them a controller in which they can move each, if it's most of the time both the eyes move at the same, values, but in animation it also changes. So you should have him a flexible thing so that he can manage. So what we're going to do is we're going to create controllers for this eyes. Let's create. So first F3. And we're going to duplicate this thing. Oh, is it?